Alright folks, if you thought the fight over digital money was just about your privacy or your spending habits, you've only seen one piece of a much bigger puzzle. We've talked about the dollar's potential decline and the chilling reality of CBDCs as a Trojan horse for domestic control. But what we need to grasp right now is that this is just about what happens inside our borders. Central bank digital currencies are rapidly becoming the new arms race on the global geopolitical chessboard. Forget about traditional military might for just a moment. In the 21st century, true power increasingly comes from controlling the financial architecture of the world. And right now, nations are locked in a frantic scramble. They're racing to develop, implement, and dominate with their own CBDCs, not just for internal efficiency, but for external, global influence. Think of it as a silent, digital Cold War. The currencies are the weapons, and the world's trade routes are the battlegrounds, and the stakes they couldn't be higher. We're talking about the future of international commerce, the stability of financial markets, and ultimately, which nations will wield supreme economic power for generations to come. This is the fight for the future of money itself. So, who's leading this race? If you're in the West, the answer might surprise you. It's not the United States. It's China with its Digital Yuan, the ECI. They have been aggressively piloting and pushing their CBDC for years. And it's not just happening within their borders. They are actively exploring its use in cross-border trade, especially with nations in their sphere of influence like Russia and parts of the Middle East and Africa. This isn't just about digitalizing cash. This is a strategic move to build an entirely new, alternative payment system. A system that completely bypasses the traditional SWIFT network, which, as you know, is heavily dominated by the US dollar and Western financial institutions. Every time a country uses SWIFT, they are essentially playing on a field where the US sets the rules. China wants to build a new field altogether. This move by China is a direct, calculated challenge to the dollar's decades-long hegemony. It's as an attempt to establish a new economic order where transactions can be conducted completely outside the oversight and potential sanctions of the West. If a country falls out of favor with the US, they can be cut off from the global financial system. The Digital Yuan offers them a way out, an escape route. The implications are absolutely enormous. Imagine major oil trades, for instance, between Saudi Arabia and China, settling in Digital Yuan instead of US dollars. That would chip away at the petrodollar system that has propped up the dollar's global dominance for 50 years. Each transaction settled outside the dollar system is another crack in its foundation, and other countries are watching. They see the power the US wields through its control of the financial system, and they're looking for alternatives. Russia, Iran, and several others are already exploring ways to link their systems with China's, creating a bloc of nations that can trade freely among themselves without fear of Western sanctions. This isn't a currency update. It's a strategic geopolitical maneuver that could fundamentally reshape who controls the levers of global power. Meanwhile, where is the West? The European Union is cautiously developing a digital euro, but they're moving slowly, tangled in bureaucracy and privacy debates. And the United States, it's even further behind. There's deep political division and a lack of urgency. While America debates whether a digital dollar is even a good idea, China is already exporting its technology and building alliances. We are witnessing the early stages of a great power competition played out not with tanks and aircraft carriers, but with code and digital ledgers. The digital battlefield is being prepared, and the lines are already being drawn. The nation that wins this race won't just control the future of money. They'll have the power to shape the global order for the next century. The clock is ticking, and we need to wake up to the reality of this new financial Cold War before it's too late. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the forces shaping our world. In the last video, we talked about the new arms race for digital currency dominance. Now, let's dive into the chilling reality of how these central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, can be weaponized. This isn't just a theory. It's the next logical step when you centralize financial power on a global scale. For decades, the US dollar has been king. Its dominance, along with control over systems like SWIFT, has been a massive foreign policy tool. The US could impose sanctions, freeze assets, or cut off entire countries from the global financial system. It was a powerful, if blunt, instrument. But a CBDC takes this power and turns it into a surgical scalpel. Imagine a nation with a fully functional, cross-border CBDC. They could impose sanctions with terrifying precision. Instead of a broad economic blockade, they could program the currency to block specific transactions. They could prevent funds from reaching certain individuals or groups, or even set an expiry date on money sent to a particular region. This isn't just about limiting trade, it's about applying financial pressure with pinpoint accuracy. You could literally make someone's money disappear if they do unspend it in a way the issuing government approves of. Think about that for a second. Your money, with an expiration date, controlled by a foreign power. On the flip side, a CBDC could also be used to get around sanctions. Countries looking to challenge the current system, like China, could create parallel financial channels that are completely outside of traditional oversight. This essentially turns finance into a direct extension of state power, both for offense and defense. It's a new battlefield where code is the weapon. The real danger here isn't just a more efficient way to freeze assets. It's the potential for the entire global financial system to shatter into pieces. What happens if major economic blocs, like the US and its allies on one side, and a China-led group on the other, each operate their own, completely incompatible CBDC systems? We could see a massive fracture in the international payment landscape. Trade between these blocs would become incredibly difficult, requiring complex and costly currency swaps. At worst, it could lead to economic balkanization, where nations are forced to pick a side. Are you on Team Digital Dollar or Team Digital Yuan? Your choice would determine who you can trade with, who you can partner with, and ultimately, who holds power over your economy. This isn't just a simple upgrade from paper money to digital cash. It's a fundamental rewiring of global alliances and dependencies. The very system of international finance is being transformed into a high-stakes programmable weapon. And the scary part is, this isn't science fiction. It's happening right now. The decisions being made today in Washington, Beijing, and Brussels will define the financial landscape for generations to come. What do you think? Are CBDCs a tool for economic warfare, or just a natural evolution of money? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown insightful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the future of our world. Thanks for watching. Alright folks, we've navigated the new arms race for digital dominance and explored how CBDCs could be weaponized in economic warfare on the global stage. It all sounds like high-level geopolitics, far removed from our daily lives, right? Wrong. The truth is, these seismic shifts on the global chessboard will inevitably send ripples onto your shore, directly impacting the average citizen, from Main Street America to families across the globe. First, consider the direct economic implications. If the US dollar's global dominance continues to erode, replaced or challenged by rival CBDCs from nations like China, what happens to its purchasing power? We could see heightened inflation, as the demand for the dollar weakens internationally. This means your hard-earned money buys less, both domestically and when you're looking to purchase imported goods. The stability you've come to expect from the dollar, a bedrock of the global economy, could become a relic of the past, leading to greater volatility in markets and uncertain economic futures for individuals. Beyond your wallet, this digital economic warfare could also impact global trade and supply chains, which directly affects the cost and availability of goods you rely on. If nations are forced to align with different CBDC blocks, or if financial systems fragment, international transactions become more complex and expensive. This friction could drive up the prices of everything from electronics to groceries. As businesses navigate a fractured global economy, your access to specific international services, or even your ability to conduct small cross-border transactions, could become more complicated, censored, or even impossible, depending on which digital bloc your nation or you are aligned with. So, what does this all mean for you? It reinforces the absolute imperative of the strategies we discussed previously. In a world where global financial stability is at stake, where currencies are becoming weapons, and where your national currency faces unprecedented challenges, the need to diversify beyond centralized systems becomes paramount. Protecting your wealth through physical assets like gold and silver, embracing true decentralized cryptocurrencies for financial sovereignty, and strengthening local economic resilience aren't just safeguards against domestic digital control. They are your personal armor against the unpredictable and volatile tides of global CBDC wars. This isn't just about financial speculation, it's about securing your future, your freedom, and your ability to navigate a global financial landscape unlike anything humanity has ever seen. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more insights.